that's right, we are back. And this week it's board setup time again. Now, I'm going to be setting up a board for my son JJ, and luckily Santa Cruz have sent over a new 7.75 deck. Now we can see that JJ's been tearing around on his old deck, and it's a little bit worse for wear. The back is completely chipped and delaminated and sort of half missing, and the nose is in a similar state. Now, the trucks on this board are really good. They're the mini logo trucks. JJ loves these, so we're going to stick with these. You can also see that the wheels on this, these are 97A Creature wheels, and this one's got a right cone on from when there's been a bit of reverting or a little bit of Burt sliding going on. Now, JJ forgot his deck for a session the other day, so he had to ride one of mine, and he got on really well with the Spitfire wheels. So I think I'm going to upgrade these with a set of 99A Spitfire wheels. I'm also going to transfer over the rails, and I've got a bit of deck grip. So let's take a look at the classic dot Santa Cruz deck. Now this one's got all the dimensions written on it. They're embossed in the top here, so it says 7.75 wide, 31.61 long, and a 14.25 wheelbase. So in terms of dimensions, I'll just offer it up to JJ's old deck. You see it's exactly the same width, and also pretty much the same concave, and most importantly the wheelbase lines up. So I think the biggest thing about setting up a board for a nipper is getting the wheelbase correct, and in the old days I made the mistake of just sticking JJ on my old decks, and of course with a 15-inch wheelbase that's a bit wide to be manhandling if you're a 9-year-old. But with this one, this is a bit shorter, and JJ's been getting on a cracker with this 14.25 wheelbase, so it's fair to assume that this 7.75, looking pretty much the same, will work a treat. Now this one's got a matte finish. It's got the classic Santa Cruz dot, which looks amazing. It's got a bit of a yellow stain on the bottom and a black stain on the top. We've got the obligatory Santa Cruz sticker, which I'm sure will come to good use. Can't have too many stickers. We've got the usual warning signs saying skate within your abilities or it could get emotional. And we've got the barcode there and a serial number. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward popsicle deck. It looks like there's the usual 2 fingers before we get to the kick on the nose, and just under 2 fingers to get to the kick of the tail. So the nose is bigger, and that's exactly what one would expect. So let's crack this out of the cellophane. And there she blows, looking pretty splendid. Santa Cruz sticker, that is being saved. That is a lovely graphic. I'm going to put the rails on the bottom. I'm going to put the mini logo trucks on, which we know already work. Transfer the wheels over from this setup. So this is a setup that JJ borrowed the other day. It did look freakishly big, but these wheels were a bit of a favourite. I think they're going to be easier to revert and a bit faster. They've got the big ball bearings in, which are also pretty fast. I reckon it would be churlish not to leave this Santa Cruz deck graphic showing, so I'm going to find a way to cut a hole in the grip tape. Might also do a bit of a grip tape design. So there we go, all finished and looking pretty splendid. I transferred over the 54mm Grant Taylor Spitfire wheels. These are 99A and they go pretty fast with the big ball bearings. I also took the liberty of putting a bit of speed cream on the axles, just refreshing those up. We've got the original mini logo trucks that I know work, and then the 7.75 classic dot deck in yellow, looking splendid. Also did a bit of a grip tape job, sort of an arrow, so we always know where the nose is, and then that Santa Cruz badge showing through. Oh my gosh, I haven't fitted the rails because I thought it'd be nice to have a session without the rails, see how it feels. Also undecided on which rails to pop on, so I could transfer the old orange rails across or pick a different colour. Obviously this bad boy needs to be stickered up as well. So enough of my yakking, let's get out there and see how it performs. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we set the deck up, and what a couple of weeks it's been. It's fair to say the weather's taken a turn for the worse, and also the nights are drawing in, but we still managed to engineer a few sessions at the local indoor skate park, Mount Hawke, and also a couple outside when it was just starting to get dark at Hendra Skate Park and also Concrete Waves. Now, it's fair to say that JJ loves this deck. He's tearing around on it, managed to get all his old tricks back pretty much first go, and has learned a fair few new ones. I think the biggest difference has been the Spitfire wheels at 99A. They're a little bit harder, a little bit faster, and also a little bit easier to break out into slides and reverts. We decided to go with no rails just to try it out, because JJ's always had rails on his decks. And I think the word on the street is that the rails will be going back on. They just make grabs and also sliding on the coping just that little bit easier. If you have any questions about this setup, then please do leave those in the comments below. Also, many thanks to Santa Cruz Skateboards for sending this deck across. As ever, my name's been John Bishop, and I'll see you next time.